Hey guys, welcome out to the shop today. We got this broadhead axe right here, and it is rusted. It's got pitting on it. It's not in bad shape. The front looks kind of chewed up on it, the cutting edge, so we're going to get that all squared away. But for the most part, it's in decent shape, and we're going to go ahead and get an axe handle off of that. And first things first though, we got to get it in some Evapo-Rust, because one thing with this is you cannot get in the hole to clean that all up. So we're going to put it in a liquid to get in there, do the rust fighting in there. Then this is going to get a wire wheel finish, because we do not want to destroy the patina. Got some Evapo-Rust. Got the broadhead axe. We're going to try to push it down in there. Thing barely fits in there. That just barely covered the axe head. So now we're going to set it in there for a little while, leave it, see what happens. This is the first time I'm using Evapo-Rust, so hopefully it works well. Alright, so this has been sitting in the solution for about 2 hours. We'll take it out and just check it out. Wow, that's fairly clean already. You can actually see, let me bring this closer. You can actually see some of the metal right in there. I don't know how well you guys can see it with the shine, but there's still some rusting right here on this tip. So I'm going to put it back in here, give it about another hour or so, and come back, check it again. Gotta lift that edge up. It's not sitting down this time. So we'll leave it for another hour, and then we'll come back, check it on it again, and see how it's doing. So it's been about 4 hours or 5 hours since I've actually put this in here, and we're gonna go ahead and take it out, wipe it down, and then try to give it a brushed look with a wire wheel that is stuck onto a drill. So we'll get this off of here, and we'll dry the axe head off real quick so it's not leaking all over. So we don't want stuff all over the top of it. Workbench. So this will just kind of, look at how dirty that is. That's just wiping all the little stuff off, and I'll try to find a tiny brush to get inside the place where the axe handle is going to be going. Now for the axe handle, I've already got a made up axe, or it's like a sledgehammer handle that we're going to go ahead and turn into an axe handle. So cleaning it up, getting it as clean as possible with just a rag real quick. And this is not sharp whatsoever, so we're going to start working on that after this is all cleaned up as well. So there it is. It's a lot less rustier. And so now what we're going to do is take this. It's on a drill. Some of them come on angle grinders. We're just going to go over it, just trying to knock off any more rust or anything like that. And we aren't trying to make it nice and shiny because it's got all the patina with it. And I've already looked over this and didn't find a maker's mark before, but while doing this, you never know, we might discover one. So let's go ahead and start getting this all done. Alright, so after trying to wire wheel it a little bit, I noticed that it's still not as clean as I was wanting. There's still like little clumps of rust on there. So what I've done is I went ahead and put it back into the Evapo-Rust, and we're going to let it sit there for another 2 or 3 hours. Alright guys, so here we are. We are about 8 hours into letting this sit in the Evapo-Rust, and what I've been doing is about every other hour or so I've been coming out and using a wire brush right here and scrubbing some of that rust off, trying to get as much of it off in between, and I guess letting the layers cut through it. So I think I'm almost done with it. I don't want to let it sit here forever in this, and we're just going to try to push on. It wasn't bad before, but let's go ahead and pull it out. So as you can see, look, it's not bad. So let's go ahead and scrub on it a little bit and see what we can get off. I do like on this edge, you guys can see the two different types of metal right here, and this was formed and this was added for the cutting edge, and you can see the difference in the blade area right there, where is dark right here on this edge, and then it's the other steel right through here. So there's still some rust on there, but I don't know if it's really going to come off that well without putting a flap disc or something on there. Like I said before, I don't really want to do that and destroy all the little bumps and the little divots and stuff in there. So I'm not happy with how that's looking with the little bit of rust. I'm not disappointed in how it is. It did get off a lot of rust, but maybe there was just too much for the Evapo-Rust just to handle. So I'm going to go ahead and take a flap disc to it and get off as little of the material as I can, but make it de-rusted. And I got some other plans with it that hopefully it'll work out. So let's get this cleaned up first, and then we'll move on to the next step. You know what I just thought of is that instead of grinding it all down, we can probably throw it in the sandblaster, blast all the crap off of it, and then take a wire wheel to it, and it should bring back some of the little stuff that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and go that route. I'm going to go ahead and get the sandblaster set up, throw it in there, and we'll bring it back out, see what it looks like. Alright guys, so I just pulled the broadhead axe out of the sandblaster. It was in there for approximately 10 minutes getting sandblasted. Just that really, really bad side. So I had a bunch of buildup all throughout this area and down through here. This wasn't extremely bad. But here's the steps where we're at right now. Took Evapo-Rust to the axe first, and it sat for about 8 hours approximately, and I used wire brush in between. That's the stage I got. Remember, this is the good or the better side. The other side was much worse. So I started doing a flap disc, and then remembered I had a sandblaster, and one of the things I wanted to keep was all the patina, all the little ridges and stuff that was in there. I didn't want it to look 100% new. So I put it in the sandblaster, all this got knocked off, and that turned out very nice. There's still some rust on there, but from what I can tell from this side is that I can actually get it off with a wire wheel now. So you have the sandblasted side and then wire wheeled side, and there's no rust that I can see in here. So it's like the sandblaster knocked most of it off and the wire wheel cleans it up. So that's the step we're going to take, and I have one more step after this. I went ahead, threw this back in the sandblaster and cleaned it up a little bit more. Got most of the rust off of the cutting edge. And what we are going to do to try and make this look a little bit darker and back to its normal state without all of the rust. We're going to try some of this super blue. You can buy this stuff at Walmart or on Amazon. And I'm going to try this out. I don't really know how well it's going to work, but hopefully it turns out to be a win and works well. And this is something that you use on gun stocks and stuff like that. And I don't want this to look all super shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and rub this in, get this all in the metal. Just work it around. I've used this before on handsaws and it darkens up the metal fairly well. And as you can see, it's darkening it up right here. So we'll just let that sit for about 30 seconds or something, it says on the package. And I like how much darker that is already. Alright, so what I've got is a sledgehammer handle, and the reason why I'm using that is because I found this at a yard sale and it was like $2. You can't even buy a piece of hickory for $2 to even make a handle, so I'm opting to use this. But I still have to shape this head, and as you can see, I've got the outline for the bottom of it, and it'll stick out of the top slightly. And I've also gone ahead and added the shape right there. And as you can see, I got quite a good deal on this handle. It was originally $12.99. I got it for a few bucks. Alright guys, it is finally completed. There is the handle. And it's got a wax on it, so I'm going to leave that on there for right now until it kind of gets worn down. And then I'll end up putting some Boyle linseed oil on it. But I got the top just barely poking out of both sides, nice and flush. And it ended up kind of being a little bit too wide here at the bottom. So I've gotten a little bit of stuff I got to clean up right there, I just see. But other than that, I mean, it's fantastic. Its weight is really heavy at the top, which means that the swing will be great for whenever you're trying to flatten a side of a log. It's about 3 feet in length for the handle. And I can go out here and try to find a log to show you guys that it's working. Alright, so back in the day, if you imagine that this would be one really long log, they would have it so that you would make it flat and then you would build your house with that. So what you would do is either stand on the side of it, and you see how it's round, you have to get it a flat edge, so you have your flat part of the blade right here, and it actually kind of curves, if you can see that. So when you hit it, it stays nice and flat. What you would do is snap a line, and you would just follow that line right down. It'd be a lot easier with a heavy log. And not one that you would try to fight chasing. But that's what it would be like. You would just chop it away and make one flat side. You guys got to see his first cuts. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Alright guys, well that was really fun. I enjoyed doing this restoration. I already had the handle laying around, and the axe head needed to be done. I mean, I've had it for like 5 years. It's just been sitting here rusting away. And so the things I went over is I went ahead and started with the Evaporust, got most of the rust off, tried to do the grinder. I thought that was a bad idea. Threw it in the sandblaster. That was a fantastic idea. Got all the rust off, but it left it pitted and stuff like that, so it looks old. It doesn't look brand new. It still has that old look to it. And then I was able to use some of that bluing chemical for guns. Got that on there. It darkened it right back up. As you can see, it was really light at first. Now it's dark again. After that, I sprayed some of this dry coat on there, and this is supposed to help so that it doesn't re-rust again. I sharpened up the blade, got the angle of the blade all the same, then filed it down. It's not 100% sharp, but it's sharp to where it'll cut. And I even went over it a little bit with a stone just to kind of clean it up a little bit. But you know, I'm happy with it. I like the I like how it looks. I don't know what exactly I'm gonna do with it now. Might sell it, might keep it, might hang it up on the wall over here somewhere. You guys let me know. Do you guys buy these things and keep them, hang them up? I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with it yet. So, but I like it. I think it looked good. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments down below if you guys have any other ways that you guys go about axe restorations, things like that. Leave them in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you guys are new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And like always, we'll see you guys next weekend.